Hello, and welcome back to the adventures of Chef Perry. Last time we were on our way to Wicked Shipping, I believe it was. Yeah, Wicked Shipping Fleet Lockup as part of an errand we were running for the management at Club Snuggle, and we heard gunfire. And we got distracted and we came over and voided right into the middle of a gun battle between raiders and this group of survivors from Quincy. And of course one thing led to another, and the next thing you know, we're in Sanctuary Hills, or the remnants of it, at least. And so we parked our power armor in the power armor dock here. And did all of the repairs and stuff like that. So now we need to first of all do a little bit of cooking because Chef Perry is hungry. And of course this is Sanctuary Hills before the cleanup. And there's actually a lot of resources in Sanctuary Hills, so, you know, like I think I may have mentioned before, it doesn't seem to matter where you start in an alternate start. Eventually you will find your way here, because side quests will direct you in this general direction. And, you know, like you will sooner or later end up encountering Preston Garvey and company. But anyway, we made some breakfast here, so we'll just eat some Andy Boy apples, I guess. And we'll have a quick look in here. Okay, looks like I opened that safe already. Probably did a little bit of poking around and exploring here in Sanctuary Hills already. So we'll just enter the workbench mode here for a moment. Yeah, it looks like we found the Mr. Salvage robot too. And so we will find a good central location to set up Mr. Salvage robot. Right about there. And then we'll set the salvage defaults, because I use Mr. Salvage robots at not all the settlements, because some of them are small and it doesn't take that long to scrap them by hand. But larger settlements, it's kind of handy to be able to just set one of these up, turn it loose, and then go and do other things while it does all the scrapping for you. And right now I'm just telling it. Basically, it would have been nice if there'd have been a toggle here where I could have just toggled, you know, like scrap all things. I have to specify which things I want to the robot to scrap and which ones I don't. And basically I want the robot to scrap all of these things that are in here. So anything with brackets around it will not be scrapped. But basically, if I tell it to scrap everything, well, it still won't scrap things that by vanilla are not meant to be scrapped. So that's why if you're running a mod like scrap everything or something like that, well, there's always stuff left over to continue to scrap even once the robot has indicated that it's done. See, what happens is it first goes from white lights to blue on the base. And right now what it's doing is it's sort of doing a little bit of arithmetic to figure out what all is scrappable within range here. And that'll be with everything within the settlement of Sanctuary Hills.
What?
And then once it's done analyzing, then those little lights will turn green, and it'll start running around, you know, seemingly in random directions, just scrapping things and making them disappear. So, And basically, you can leave Sanctuary Hills or wherever you might have the robot set up once the lights turn green. You can't leave before it does, or it'll screw things up. But if you wait until the lights turn green and the robot actually starts scrapping operations, well, then you can wander off and do whatever you want. But anyway, we have the Sanctuary Hills thing going on here, and I guess we must have talked to Sturgis once already, because now we need to build some beds for people to sleep in here.
Would be a good place to set up some beds.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. We'll just wait for our scrapping robot to start here. Go beep. And Sanctuary Hills is one of the largest settlements with one of the largest object counts. So it takes the scrapping robot longer to set up here than it does at someplace like Hangman's Alley or something, which is relatively small settlement, right? But anyway, once that's started, now it's all going and it's all good. And I can leave Sanctuary Hills if I want to and go and do other things. But in the meantime, though, I think I'm going to do these few little errand type things for Sturgis. And we'll just cut into the scrapping stuff here a little bit. And scrap some of this stuff by hand inside this house at least. Because this is the house that I'm going to be using to build beds and all that kind of stuff for the Quincy survivors here. Okay, I guess I'll scrap that chair later. I'll talk to Mama Murphy.
I knew you'd join us here, kid. Your energy is tied to this place.
Yeah.
My energy? What do you mean?
Thought I told you before, kid. I know your pain. The site can help you, kid. It always has answers. Just gotta bring me some jet so I can see what it wants to tell you.
Okay, here you go.
Already have some.
Maybe I'll do some too.
Yourself, huh? This'll do.
Codsworth,
Now,
wherever he is,
ride
just like
hard
that.
to where the site wants to take me. You're looking for a man. He can help you, but he ain't gonna be the man.
Now, I've read that if you keep giving Mama Murphy drugs every so often, she'll keep offering another vision. But each successive time that you give her drugs, she seems to react to it a little bit more negatively. And I've never actually seen it happen, because I usually quit after the second or third time. But apparently she can overdose and die, right? At least I've read that. I've never actually seen that happen, though.
Wow.
I know that you can tell her, no more drugs, like you need to get yourself straightened out, and then she will. And then you can actually make her a productive citizen rather than somebody who just sits in that custom-made green chair and does nothing. But I've only ever done that once too. I did that more or less just because I was curious as to see what would happen. But anyway, with scrap everything, I can scrap the tile debris that was on the floor here, and I can scrap these wax candles. I could actually scrap the entire house if I wanted to, but I try not to. I find that the houses sort of keep with the I guess aesthetic of the game. So generally speaking, I won't scrap one of the existing sanctuary houses unless I accidentally scrap the foundation or the walls or something while I'm trying to do something else, because that does happen. Accidents occasionally happen. But for the most part, these houses are kind of handy. They're already here. I don't have to build something fresh and new. It would be nice if you could repair the houses properly. You know, kind of like what Ten Hats did with some of his settlement mods, where you can actually repair ruined buildings and fix the holes in the roof and fix, you know, replace the windows and all that kind of stuff. I thought that was pretty cool, but unfortunately, if there is such a thing as a mod for that, I have seen a couple of them actually, and they're only for Sanctuary. They don't really apply to other locations so much, so. At one time I also was running a mod, I don't remember what it's called now, where you could actually build new looking houses. So you could just scrap the entire, you know, site here, right down to the house foundations, and then build new houses of various different sizes on, you know, on the old foundations if you wanted to. There's a lot of mods that I used to run that I don't anymore. Just because, you know, like I chose a different selection of things the last time I rebuilt my game. So anyway, there you go. Now his base is green and he's off doing whatever it is he's doing. And meanwhile, I'm just going to try and scrap some things immediately around this house, since this is going to be the base of operations, I guess, for the original Sanctuary settlers. I'll take that cigar box, though. Okay, now this is annoying. You get out of here, Sturgis. Get out. Nope, you're not going to hammer there. I'm going to scrap that one. Because it's bad enough that you guys are hammering all over the place. I don't need you cluttering up the inside of the house or blocking the doorway. You can go around the back of the house and hammer. It would have made more sense if all this random hammering that these guys do would actually eventually improve the appearance of the house. Right? That would have made a lot more sense. But anyway, we'll move the armor workbench over here. Straighten it out a little bit. There. And we'll go find the chem workbench as well, and we'll move it over here. So anyway, there is still probably 15 or 20 minutes worth of scrapping left, maybe half an hour worth in Sanctuary. It takes quite a while to scrap all of Sanctuary when you're doing it entirely by hand, especially when you're running scrap everything, because every little pile of leaves and every pile of debris and, you know, like every tree and every fence post and everything is all scrappable stuff, right? And it takes a really long time to scrap all that stuff, which is why I went looking for a mod kind of similar to the one that I am using right now. Just because it's you know, less laborious. I'd rather spend my time playing the game than scrapping gigantic settlements. Anyway, we need to
ask you, kid. I know it's silly, but I need a chair. Something with a nicer fit for these old bones. Can you do that for me?
Sure.
Be glad to help.
Thank you.
Alright. That's one of the reasons why I got rid of that hammering point in the corner over here, because this happens to be a good place to set up Mama Murphy's chair. You're in the way, Sturgis. Okay, there. So now Mama Murphy has her chair. Move the chair back against the wall a little bit more here. We can swing this coffee table around a bit and move that radio over to here. We could turn the radio on, but then I'll get copyright notices for 50-year-old songs, because
You'll find what
Of
you're
course,
looking
YouTube
for.
is
Ain't
really, really
knowing.
anal about that kind of thing. You know, I'm pretty sure that nobody has actually purchased any of that music in decades, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so now building beds. Maybe we should put down some rugs first before we build beds, hey? Put down a rug here. We'll put down another rug here. Yeah. And we'll build some beds. We'll build a bed. And a bed. And another bed. Build a bed there. We'll build a bed there. Now, okay, well, this is going to be your bed. It auto-assigns these, and I don't know who it all auto-assigns them to, but, okay, you are going to have that bed. But it kind of makes sense to have June and Marcy in the same bedroom, at least. Assuming that I can find her. The hell did she go? These guys tend to wander aimlessly all over Sanctuary. Doing who knows what. Oh, I hear hammering. Maybe she's hammering on the back of the main house there. Yeah, there she is. Okay. We'll assign her the other bed in the smaller room that was the bathroom before. It's now a bedroom. There. And then the other two can auto-assign to whoever. Wow, look at my happiness is only 20%.
I like it. Having a place to sleep will improve everyone's spirits. What we need now is a reliable source of clean water.
Yeah, okay.
I'm on it. Clean water coming up.
Great. Thanks again.
Okay. So lately I've been building Sanctuary in particular in a kind of a modular fashion, which means that each house has a certain number of beds in it to house a certain number of people. In this case, 5, right? For that. And so then what I do is I make sure that there are enough resources for the number of people living in this house. So I'll put in, you know, a couple of water pumps here. Okay, scrap some more stuff here. Put in a couple of water pumps here, and there we go. We have 5 people living in this house, and we're producing 6 water. Okay, and now Sturgis has already wandered around to the back where he's hammering on the back of the house. They're not even hammering on the parts that have the holes in the walls.
Better already.
What are you
We
doing
have a
there,
reliable
buddy?
Supply of clean water. I hope you don't mind me asking for some more help, but our food supplies are running low.
Yes,
If
they
we're
are.
gonna settle here, we'll need to get some crops established.
Yeah, okay.
I'll start planting right away.
Good deal.
Okay, where are you, Marcy? Marcy is my designated farmer. Of course.
Seems to be
Looks
growing
like,
well.
yeah, looks like we can harvest these 3 existing plants here and expand on them a little bit. Maybe we'll do that. We got 3 more gourd plants that we can plant. 1, 2, 3. What else do we got? We got 4 melons to plant. Okay. So that gives us 4 food. Okay. 5 food. Okay, that's it for melons. What else have we got? Anything? We need. Okay, we could plant a crunchy mute fruit, which used to be a wild mute fruit, but with the farming mod that I'm running, it is now called a crunchy mute fruit. It looks as though the stem is in there. It just looks a little more wild, I guess, than the normal mute fruit plants do. But that's okay. That gives us 6 food for this nice little settlement now. Looks like I gotta stop for a drink of water here. How many bottles of water have I got anyway? Not very many. Maybe I ought to fill some bottles here. Okay, well, now I've got 5 purified water. Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, that crunchy mute fruit plant, well, that was from a mod that I installed relatively recently that allows you to plant and farm almost every type of plant that you can find in the Commonwealth, even things that are not normally considered to be crop type plants, like the mutated ferns and things like that. Bloodleaf plants and you know, like that kind of good stuff, right? But anyway, we have our food supply all locked up now. Now we'll talk to Sturges again.
Well, this place is starting to feel like home. Now that we can grow our own food, I think we can really make a go of this. Trouble is, the more we establish ourselves here, the more of a target we become.
That's right.
To get some defenses set up. Then maybe Preston will be able to relax a little bit.
Okay.
I'm on it.
Ah, thanks. It'll make everyone feel more secure here.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. Anyway, before I get too carried away with this, we'll get rid of... We'll get rid of that hammering station here, too, so that we can scrap this piece of plywood. And we'll scrap some of this other crap in front of this house here that's in the way. Because the scrapping robot is a great labor-saving device, but it just doesn't go fast enough for me. I used to run another mod too called Raze My Settlement, like R-A-Z-E, and as in flatten, and you could run it, and it would sort of run a little batch file that would basically automatically scrap and make disappear any and all scrappable items, and it only took like a minute or two to run it. But again, though, that was part of an old mod set. I'm not actually running anymore, so. And it's funny, but even though I'm not running a lot of those mods that I used to run at one time, I still have quite a few mods in this game. Just different ones. It's starting to get dark again. I'm gonna be able to see what I'm doing here again soon. Anyway, we have a bit of a space cleared around here. Knock out these trees too for now. This picket fence here. Okay, and then we'll do something like this. We'll start off with a floor piece here. We'll try to start off with a full-size floor piece. Try and get it level with the foundation pad. Okay, looks like that's above slightly. Try and get it down a little bit. And of course we also want to get it square to the house, if possible. Or at least as square as we can. We're eyeballing it here. Okay, that's below the surface there. Is good. Okay. Makes me wonder if sometimes if these buildings are actually square. Because that looks pretty square on this side, but not so much on that side. What the hell? Okay, well. Okay, well, I'll turn on a light here. We'll just see how square this is. Okay, it's not very square. Swing it this way a little bit. Okay, how's that? Is that better? Okay, let's get a piece out here that we can use to measure. Turn it this way. So that's like one. Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, so we got 1, 2 slots and then a wide board, kind of. Right? Okay. Okay, well, it's not quite square. Very difficult to do this. Okay, we'll try that. Okay, so... yeah. Okay. Okay. How does this one look? Pretty close, I think. Right? Got 1, 2 boards and then a little bit. That one. 1, 2 boards and then, yeah, that's pretty close. Okay. It's very hard to, you know, get one of these pieces right up against the wall or base of the existing building too, just because they don't want to, you know, the way the collision is designed in this game, they just don't fit. So usually I'll end up filling in the spaces with these smaller pieces like this, kind of. Okay. Now what time is it getting to be here? It's 9:14 p.m. Okay. Well, we'll throw some jack upper floors in here. like that. Okay, overhang ever so slightly at the back, which is not a bad thing. Actually, looks like I managed to get it pretty square too. Look at that. Okay, and we can have a bit of an overhang at the front. Well, okay, and every now and then it gets all weird like that. So I have to trick it like that. Okay, doesn't want to go in there for some reason. Fine, we'll just do it this way again. Stick this one in here like this. Yeah, not sure why that one was being finicky, but okay. How are we looking here? Not too bad. Okay. Got the outside edge of the house covered. Of course, we'll build another one of these in here. And we'll put some walls in. Okay, kind of sort of like that. Okay. Yeah, we'll budge a concrete piece in there just to fill that space. Can't quite get one down there underneath that, but that's okay. In here, that will work. Now, probably it's time to go crash on the couch because it's easier to do this in the daytime when you can see what you're doing. Okay, so just a little bit of light on the subject again here just for a short while. Okay, so I should be able to just get this to go nicely inside that. I don't need to scrap that stuff unless I need materials. So we'll go back to our wood here again. Actually, what I don't know if I need to put any more. Well, I can put another wall in right there. Here, we'll put in a wall there too. Why not? Because from here, we'll put in some junk fence. Can't get it to snap in there that way. That's okay. Get it started this way at least. Okay, that one out of there now. Now we should be able to put our corner piece in there. And we'll put in a door. Okay, this piece now. Our door down to the ground somewhat. There, and then that piece will snap to the top of the door, which nicely fills that gap at the bottom too. And then we'll here. Put a little generator right here. Do some delayed off switches. One there. And put one there. Okay. So that will connect power to this. Connect there. And that will connect power to this, which will then connect to there. And just run another one of these over here, like this. And we'll connect that up to there. Yeah, and then what we'll do maybe, for the fun of it, we'll do something like this. Put in a thing right up here against the wall. Of course, you can only do this if you have the Place Everywhere mod. Otherwise, you have to use these big clunky wall pass-through things, which are kind of stupid, and they have more connectors than you need. All that kind of stuff. Really, all they need to do was just make a single piece with a barbed end on each end that you could actually clip through walls, rather than going to the trouble to make this elaborate-looking piece of hardware that has a lot more stuff going on than what you usually need if you want to put wiring through a wall. Okay, so to make a computer to control our delayed off switches, we need one more piece of aluminum. So we need to find a TV dinner tray or something in one of these houses. That shouldn't be too hard to do. There's one right there on top of that table. There's one right there too. So we'll scrap that lighter as well while we're here. And that TV dinner tray, and as we'll scrap that toolbox. Okay. So now we can build our Vault-Tec management system computer, which can be used for many things, including controlling the timing on electric switches. We're going to set our delay switch control to 4 seconds, which is a standard that I use.
Well, this military stuff isn't exactly my specialty. I like turrets because they do the shooting for me. But I'm not picky.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, we have to disconnect these switches and then reconnect them in order to get the 4-second delay to start working. So there we go. So we turn that on, it stays on for 4 seconds, and then it turns off and the door shuts. Same with this one. We turn it on, it stays on for 4 seconds, and then the door shuts. And I like doing things like this because it keeps, you know, super mutants and things like that out of your houses. And we can just build some more junk fence here. Getting kind of close to the edge there. Same with that one. Right. I guess if we go with a corner piece now. Okay, well, that is not quite going to square us up the way we want, so maybe what we'll do is we'll go past the end of the house here and we'll take a little bit of ground on the outside of the house. We'll throw that on there. We'll put this corner piece here. Looks like we'll have to adjust it. Yeah, well, maybe not. I can see some daylight underneath it there, but most of it is still on the ground. Okay. So that one will have to go down one though. Maybe we'll just put this one down one as well, just because. We'll just go around the house. We should be able to do kind of the same thing here too. Right, that gives us a start there. And we need to see where our farming is going here. Okay. That one might be kind of close to the edge. I think we probably need 2 more wall sections here. Start sinking that one in the ground a bit. Okay, is that going to be enough? Let's see if we can go around the farming type stuff here. Looks like that's enough. No problem. Okay, adjust that one up a bit, yeah. Okay. So we're looking fine over here. I am now out of wood, so I've got to chop down some more trees here. Okay, and then a corner piece, and there we go. We've got a perfect rectangle type shaped fence going all the way around. And over here, we'll put in a short ladder doohickey just so people can get up and down from there. There we go. So we got a little bit of a farming area back here, enough to support the 5 people that live here, and then a little bit extra too, really. And we got our water pumps all contained inside, and we got beds all built and everything. Now we can put up our defenses that Sturgis asked us to. Oh, first of all, though, this is something else that I like to do, and I'm not sure if it has anything to do with sheltered beds or not, but I don't necessarily do it for the sheltered bed thing. I just find that if you have ceiling tiles that extend a little bit below the knock some more trees down, below the original wrecked ceiling, it's easier to attach lights to and stuff like that, right? Because sometimes you can't get a light fixture to go up and actually, make contact with the existing old ceilings. But anyway, now I need to go out and knock down some more trees or something. Okay, well I can make 3 more of that. Oh, I am parched from lack of water. Unfortunately, the interior ceiling surface itself is not exactly level. So, like I started off fairly low there, but I ended up above it anyway. Okay, looks like I got that one filled already. Those ones filled already. One in that gap there. And that will do it. So now we actually have a actual floor surface over top of any beds that are inside this house. And of course we can put in the defenses that Sturgis wanted here. We'll put in a few gun turrets. That one gun turret gave us 100% of what we needed. Throw another one in over here. And throw one in on that corner. That'll probably do for now. So there you go. I like to do this with the individual houses in Sanctuary Hills, just because it makes each house its own separate little fort, kind of. And that way you don't end up with super mutants and their hounds trampling through your crops and things like that. Anyway, we'll talk to Sturgis here.
Thanks for doing that.
What gave you
We'll
the
all
idea
sleep
we're
better at
friends?
night knowing we have some defenses set up. It's been a long road. But yeah, I think this is it. Home. Feels good.
Yeah.
I was glad to help.
Well, I appreciate it. Of course, you know you're welcome anytime. My door's always open to you. Windows, too. Some of the walls, actually, come to think of it. I guess I better get back to it. Take care now.
Yeah. And then, of course, the one last thing that I do here just to supplement the, whoops, those are turrets. Just to supplement the defense value a little bit here at the start, is I'll put a couple of guard posts down here too. Then I'll assign Sturges and June to the guard posts. Okay, we can probably get rid of that.
At least it's not
Wounding, piercing, automatic 45 grease gun. Wow. That looks like a pretty good, wonder if I can do anything with it here. Okay. Okay, to make it a powerful automatic receiver, I need rank 3 gun nut. Right now, I guess I'll have to make do with it being a hardened piercing auto receiver. Got red glow sights. Could put a reflex sight on it. Yeah. Okay. Okay, focus boosted agitated laser rifle. Have a look at this thing. Okay. Well, I think I'll just put it in the workbench. Have to do a little bit of inventory management here to lighten the load up a little bit for Chef Perry. He doesn't have to lug around all this stuff. Okay, well, that's a little better. At least we won't end up becoming overloaded with every third thing that I pick up. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we can continue with our mission now.
I wouldn't be very good company right now.
Yeah. Now that we have got everybody here assigned and they all have a job and all that kind of good stuff, we can be on our way to Wicked Shipping. There we go. Off to Wicked Shipping we go. Meanwhile, the scrapping robot will keep working on scrapping, and it does a pretty good job of getting rid of things like these ferns and bushes and things like that. There won't be very much of that kind of stuff left by the time I come back. And of course we can take a shortcut through the river here. Now it's lunchtime, I guess. Seem to have a lot of shotgun shells right now, so maybe we'll use the shotgun for a while. Where are you? There you are.
Excellent.
Take 5% less damage from melee attacks. Don't really care about the Runaways holotape. Ooh. Ooh. come up on the wicked shippy. Oh, man.
Sweet.
Always wonder what happens to all these ghouls that are already laying here dead when I get here. Do they just die of natural causes, or like what makes them dead?
Sweet.
I think personally that the lore for feral ghouls in this game is a little bit weak. There's our parts stash. Now we can report back to Fred, because I guess we have completed that part of our mission. You know, like where radiation rots people's brains and turns them into feral ghouls and all that kind of stuff, but there really isn't any radiation to speak of around here. So, what made all these guys into feral ghouls? I mean, there's a little bit of radioactive barrels in that trailer there, but it's not like there's hugely high levels of radiation everywhere. I think a better explanation would have been that you know, feral ghouls are the product of another different strain of FEV. You know, kind of like the one that makes people into super mutants, right? And that feral ghouls can actually spread the disease even to this day, kind of thing. That would really be a far more logical explanation as to why there are so many feral ghouls in the world. Because they're still able to multiply. You know, by attacking people, and you know, people who are hit or injured by a feral ghoul but not killed could possibly turn into one. Unless they get treated by a doctor or something. It wouldn't have been that much more work to do that, I don't think. And it definitely would have added an interesting wrinkle to the whole, you know, cannibalism, dark craving thing, right? All it really would have required is just a little bit more thought by the game developers. Because I think the whole radiation angle is just really a very convenient shortcut. And I just don't buy it. Well, anyway, I'm just looting the rest of this place, since it only takes a couple of minutes to do it. Oh, listen to those radios play.
Got it.
Yeah. And because of that few seconds of that extremely old song, I'm probably going to get another copyright notice. Here is another shotgun. This is actually intended to be the first one of the series of double-barreled shotgun legendary shotguns that I made that appear in the world.
Excellent.
So it is a less powerful version of the one that I already have. But yeah, I think that the whole copyright alarm thing is a complete and utter nonsense for things like this because, Odyssey doesn't seem to care, right? They never comment or send me any warnings or anything like that. Just because a radio in the background happens to be playing a song that was recorded, 75 years ago. And except for within the context of this game, probably nobody is even still alive that even really likes that kind of music anymore. Guess I could play this.
Blake, I want you to listen to me as a brother here. This whole deal with Eddie is wicked shiesty. I mean, what kind of business partner threatens to kill you if the deal doesn't go his way? We are in way over our heads, man. I can't see a way out of this. No way except shutting down and getting out of Dodge. Give me a chance to talk this out with you face to face. I just want both of us to get out of this.
That's it.
Okay. And again, there's a few radioactive barrels here, but they're not really on the Wicked shipping site, right? They're a little ways off. And the relatively small amount of, radiation exposure that you get from that obviously isn't enough to turn Chef Perry into a barrel ghoul, so... Alright, so now the other one that we've been, kind of following along is over here at the Four-Leaf fish packing plant. So I guess since we are supposed to report back to Fred, at Club Snuggle, so it's on the way, so we might as well do that. And then, I guess we'll continue on with the other sort of side quest line. But eventually we're going to have to bite the bullet and do some serious settlement building, because it's getting to the point now where I don't have any infrastructure to work with. I've got a string of unoccupied settlements going across a good part of the western part of the Commonwealth. And only, 2 really connected inhabited ones. So I'm going to have to start working on that. Just because it's pretty handy to have connected settlements to go to share resources, even for things like building a better gun or, stuff like that, right? Doing work in the chemistry bench and all that good stuff. Oh, I missed. There's a lot of bloatflies around here. So anyway, eventually I'm going to have to do that, which I guess might not be a bad thing because some people like watching settlement building and stuff like that. I did a small amount of it today just because I had to, in order to get Sanctuary Hills kind of established and started. But once it's fully scrapped, Sanctuary Hills is actually like a gold mine for all sorts of resources: wood, steel, glass, copper, you name it, right? You can end up connecting settlements all the way from there all the way down to Quincy, and you're still using resources that you are taking from Sanctuary Hills just because there's so much. Okay, well, there you are. Dog is still following along. I don't normally put up with even the dog as a companion. I, for some reason, decided to let him tag along this time around, but if he starts to get on my nerves or annoy me, I'll kick his ass to the curb. I know recently, earlier this week, I was playing another little challenge playthrough for myself, and I had Piper along with me, and she kept, it was just a matter of time because she kept giving away my position when I was trying to sneak. She'd wander into the middle of enemies and get involved in gun battles with them before I was ready and set up. And, eventually her, stupidity did actually manage to get me killed. So, that's one big reason why I don't like companions. Okay, well, we can drink some vodka melon here and give ourselves a little more room to carry more stuff. So yeah, I don't like companions in this game. I find that most of them are absolute morons. And, like they do strategically and tactically bad things at the worst possible times. Especially because with the random start mod, I like to play a lot of random starts, and some of them are in some of the most dangerous areas in the Commonwealth, and if you happen to be trying to, like, punch above your weight already as it is, having a companion along that alerts enemies and bumps into you at the wrong times or sets off traps and that kind of thing is just, that's just another handicap that I just don't need. And one of the things that I'm kind of hoping is that if they ever do eventually release another game in this series, they will overhaul the companion system a little bit to make companions less of a liability. And a big start would be to make them, at a minimum, stay at least 2 full body lengths away from me at all times, regardless of what kind of movement I'm doing. And also stay behind me, because that's one of the most annoying things about Piper, for example, but she's just typical. Uh-oh. She's just typical of any companion out there, really. In that, uh-oh. There's a... Wowee. Ow. Okay, where are you, you? There's a mine over there. Where's the super mutant? Why can't I draw a bead on him? Okay, dead Nightkin. Oh, look, there's a, gotcha. But anyway, as I was saying, you know, Piper and others do have a tendency to move in front of you all the time. You know, like when I'm aiming a gun at an enemy, it's frustrating to have, you know, Piper or Deacon or McCready or whoever suddenly step in front of me while I'm trying to line up a shot, right? And I can't even easily count the number of times that I have accidentally shot a companion just because they moved in front of me at the wrong moment. And I've actually even been killed a couple of times when I was trying to throw a Molotov cocktail or a grenade at an enemy, and one of my companions steps in front of me and the thing hits them in the back, causing the Molotov cocktail to detonate right in my face. So, anyway, I was kind of wandering here, but you know what? In the next game in this series, one of the things that they should do is overhaul the companion system, and companions stay at least 2 body lengths away from you at all times. B, there's a 60-degree cone in front of your character in your field of view that companions do not ever enter for any reason. You know, like if I'm in first person here, well, basically, companions should not enter anywhere. And I would say that this field of view I have in this screen here is roughly 70 or 80 degrees. And as far as I'm concerned, a companion should never enter into this field of view where I can even see them. Or if I can even see them at all. Wow, there's more super mutants here. If I can even see them at all, they should be just at the edge of the screen, right? They should never get out in front of me. Like right now, the dog's off there, and I guess that's fine, but... okay. Oop. Let's just take cover behind this sign here. Yeah. Oh, shit. Now I got enemies on both sides of me. This, hiding undercover thing was working all right for a while. Now what? Okay, the robot over there is dead. Oh. Where's that coming from now? Oh, now there's more over here too. Ow. Ah, finally. Man, oh man. Rapid Ruger Mark V pistol. Okay, well. What stuff am I carrying? Okay, I'm pretty close to the edge and limit here. But anyway, I would say that out of all of the companions in the game, probably the dog is the least annoying. Although he still gets on my nerves every now and then, too. Okay, well, managed to defeat the super mutants. Oh, I'm still carrying around some extra stuff here too. Never did anything with this. Or that. That matter. I'll have to find a settlement nearby somewhere where I can like kind of sort things a little bit. I haven't even visited Hangman's Alley yet. Okay, have a look here and see if the raiders have respawned. Yes, they have. I knocked down the gun turret. So you're not going to get that kind of effective range with a shotgun in the vanilla game. Because vanilla game, if you tried a shot from that distance, which is roughly 30, maybe 40 yards, well, maybe closer to 30, 25 or 30 yards from here to that truck. You know, like in the vanilla game, the spread on the shotgun would have been so great that I may not have even been able to hit any of those targets at all with a double-barreled shotgun. So tightening up the spread on the barrels made the shotguns much more effective. But anyway, here we are. We're coming up on Club Snuggle here. And really all there is to do is just go inside, see Fred, get paid, and then head on to the next mission. So I guess we'll call that an episode here for now. So hope you all enjoyed watching the adventures of Chef Perry, and we'll be back in a week or so with some more. Till then, I'm Sandman99.